What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Shameless Watch Collector. It's time for our next edition of the Amazon Brand Guide series, and we're going to continue through our Mount Rushmore of Amazon watch hunting. And next up for our penultimate episode is Citizen. I don't know if Citizen needs too much of an introduction beyond what we'll talk about on our history lesson section, but I will say we do have a bonus section on this one too. We're going to cover some watches from a little company that they purchased back in 2008. Maybe a few of you out there have heard of them. Their name is Bulova. So get comfy, and remember this is an Amazon Brand Guide series. We're only going to be taking a look at watches that you can find on Amazon, but we're going to be looking for the best deals. Everything that I mentioned in this video will be affiliate linked below, and let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the Citizen Brand Guide. As always, we're going to start with a quick history lesson. Citizen's story is a lot more interesting than people give it credit for. The roots go back to the Shikosha Watch Research Institute in Japan, and in 1924, they released their first pocket watch. That watch needed a name, and Count Shinichi Goto, who was the mayor of Tokyo at the time, suggested Citizen, with the idea that this watch should be for regular citizens that they could use and cherish. Then in 1930, when Citizen Watch Company was formally established, the company took that name for itself. So from the very beginning, Citizen was never built around exclusivity. It was built around accessibility, practicality, and watches that were meant to be a part of everyday life. And that philosophy kept showing up in the brand's bigger milestones. In 1970, Citizen released the X8, which they describe as the world's first titanium watch. Then in 1976, the Sistron Solar Cell, which Citizen calls the first light-powered analog quartz watch. That all eventually led to the EcoDrive era, which Citizen officially launched in the US in 1996. So when people think of Citizen as the practical solar brand, or the titanium brand, or the brand that has always been trying to make ownership easier for premium watches, that reputation did not appear out of nowhere. It has been built into the brand for decades. So as always, we're going to break this down by different categories, and we're going to start with the heart of the brand, the EcoDrive. EcoDrive is Citizen's light power technology. It converts light into energy, stores that energy into a power cell, and keeps that watch running without requiring regular battery replacements. Citizen says EcoDrive can use any kind of light, from bright sunshine to dim indoor lighting, and that many models will run for over 6 months on a full charge. If somebody asked me to explain Citizen in one category, this would be where I would point them. Solar powered, practical, durable, a wide range of styles, and just a bunch of watches that make an excellent first Citizen, or really just a first overall watch. The AW0050 is a very strong place to start. This is the classic Garrison style everyday Citizen. It has a 43mm stainless steel case, 100 meters of water resistance, and the J800 EcoDrive movement, and the weight is 141 grams with the bracelet, so it's a pretty substantial piece. You have big Arabic numerals, strong legibility, and enough water resistance that you don't have to baby it. On Amazon, I think this one gets really tempting anywhere close to the low 100s. The AW1430 is close to the previous one, but the dial is cleaner and the layout is a bit more stripped back. This one is also 43mm in diameter, with stainless steel and 100 meters of water resistance, but it uses Citizen's J810 EcoDrive movement. Same weight as the previous watch as well though, and my target price in this one would be similar too. The classic AW0100 is one of those Citizen pieces that gives the whole catalog balance. For those who want a simpler, everyday piece with a cleaner dial and a slightly more dressed up look, this 40mm piece is a great pick. This is another one where the price seems to always be fluctuating on Amazon, but I also think somewhere around the low 100s would be a steal here. The three-hand AW1361 is another great Citizen that can work as a simple daily, but still has the right amount of personality to be a fun watch. The layout is cleaner than the Garrison types, but it still has plenty of character. This one is currently sitting around $140 and is often discounted even beyond that on Amazon. The Odin BM7630 is one we have talked about plenty of times here on this channel. It's an absolutely stunning, modern-styled 41mm piece, and it's just one of my favorite Citizen watches out there. It's extremely wearable too at only 9.7mm thick, and I just love that subtle dial texture and that K-shape. Anywhere under $200, I consider a great price for this one. Then you have the sport casual AW1571. This is another straightforward and great looking EcoDrive Citizen. I love the texture on this one too, and I love the little details like that crown design. and you're getting solid specs like 100 meters of water resistance. Anywhere close to 150 would be a no-brainer for this one. The TerraForce AW1886 is where the EcoDrive starts to lean a bit more rugged. Bigger presence at 43mm in diameter, a unidirectional bezel, full stainless steel case and bracelet, and 100 meters of WR. I love the look of the TerraForce styles too. I think on this one you'd probably want to wait for a big sale though, as it normally sits above $300. And then there's the Corso AO9000, a 42mm stainless steel watch with mineral crystal, 100 meters of water resistance, day-date functionality, and the A635 EcoDrive movement. This is one of my favorite EcoDrive Citizens ever made, with a design that reminds me of a 1960s automotive watch. Those blue hands are giving me serious 1962 Dan Henry vibes, which also just happens to be one of my favorite watches on the planet. The price on this one is also why it's one of my favorites, as it can be found for under $150 on Amazon on the regular. Now let's talk about where some of the best value in the watch world can be found. Citizen Super Titanium. So first of all, the name Super Titanium is not just titanium with catchy marketing. Citizen treats their titanium with their Durelect surface hardening technology, and the result is a material that is 5 times harder and 40% lighter than stainless steel, which is a pretty big deal, because raw titanium is nice for weight, but it can be softer than most people expect. So Citizen's whole goal here was trying to give you the comfort and lightness of titanium without the ownership paranoia. The BM8560 is one of the strongest watches on this entire list altogether. You get a 42mm super titanium case, sapphire crystal, 100 meters of water resistance, and the E101 EcoDrive movement, and the weight, only 110 grams. You have a version with a full titanium bracelet or a leather strap. This is exactly the kind of Citizen where the spec sheet and the ownership experience line up beautifully. My target for this watch would be anything close to $200, which is pretty crazy for any titanium watch. The Zenshin AW0130 is even better in my opinion. This one comes in at around 39.5mm in diameter and only 9.8 thick, with a lug-to-lug that's roughly around 41.5. You're getting sapphire crystal, 100 meters of WR, the J800 EcoDrive movement, and a weight right around 91 grams. The specs are strong, the weight is absurdly good for a bracelet sports watch. And speaking of that bracelet, that is one of the most beautiful and high quality Citizen bracelets that you will find. The Zenshin is not cheap, which makes sense. The normal price for this one is north of $400, so anywhere below that, I'd say is a good price. Then you have the Bryson Sport Titanium AW1840, which is one of the cooler sleeper pieces in this entire list. This watch gives you a 41mm super titanium case that is only 11.5 thick. You're getting sapphire crystal again, 100 meters of water resistance, and the J810 EcoDrive movement, and a weight of only 104 grams. The big thing here though is price. When I'm recording this video right now in mid-April, the orange dial one is marked down to just $168. That is one of the best deals on this entire video. Now for my favorite titanium dive watch on the planet, the BN0150. This watch has earned its reputation. It's a 44mm super titanium EcoDrive diver with anti-reflective mineral crystal, which is interesting, 200 meters of water resistance, a unidirectional bezel, the ProMaster crown, and the E168 EcoDrive movement, all while weighing about 110 grams with the titanium bracelet. That is why this watch sticks out as an elite titanium diver and the best in my opinion. It's big, but not heavy, not even close, and you're getting real diver specs, real diver size, but the weight of a cheap dress watch on a cloth strap. This one usually sits north of $400, which is worth every penny. I don't even have a target price here. If you like what you see, then just buy it. Now let's kinda shift categories and check out some EcoDrive chronographs. These ones do get their own section, because some of you may remember my last brand guide video, the one on Timex, where I said they make some of the best chronograph designs out there. Well, Citizen is not too shabby either. The Bryson Chronograph CA0649 is one of the better examples of Citizen's ability to design a gorgeous chrono. You get a 44mm stainless steel case, an aluminum bezel, a screw back case, 100 meters of water resistance, and only 85 grams of weight on a leather strap. You have the B612 EcoDrive chronograph movement powering this one. Functionally, you get a 1.5 second chronograph that measures up to 60 minutes, plus a 12/24 hour time and date, and the prices on this one can range from around $200 to $300 depending on the color. The ivory dial one is one that I am watching very closely. The TerraForce line is going to make another appearance here with the CA4747 chronograph. Functionally, this is the same as the previous chrono, but with a design inspired by the golden age of aviation, which I think you really feel with the brown dial variation. You're also getting 100 meters of water resistance here, and a price tag that sits a little higher than the previous watch. This one's north of $300 pretty consistently. The casual chrono CA4500 is a name that always makes me giggle a tiny bit, because this thing is kinda loud. And it's not small either. It's 44 millimeters in diameter, 13 thick, and I do love that white variant, the pulsation measurement along the outer bezel, and this one is just more evidence that Citizen can do a chronograph as well as anybody else. I'd like to get this one anywhere around $200. If this one is too loud for you, the Weekender AT2387 is similar in pretty much every way, except with a more restrained design. The pricing is similar for this one as well. The Axiom CA4582 is where design gets cleaner and much more modern. This is not an instrument-style chrono. It's a far more streamlined, design-forward solar chronograph. This 43mm piece also gets you sapphire crystal, 50 meters of WR, and if this one does look more expensive to you, you're correct unfortunately. $400 is where you'll normally find this one. Then there's the Calendrier BU 2020, which is not a traditional chronograph. This is actually a multifunctional calendar-style watch using Citizen's 8729 EcoDrive movement with a 12-24 hour time, world time in 24 cities, and analog day date. It makes it one of the more feature-packed pieces in the Citizen catalog, and you also get 100 meters of WR. If you like busy dials and travel-style functionality, this is your Citizen. I wouldn't look any further because wow, I think this thing is also just drop-dead gorgeous, striking that perfect balance of busy and functional, yet tasteful. This one normally sits around $250, which is why I also think it's a pretty easy choice. The EcoDrive lane is really just what makes Citizen special at the end of the day. I bet a lot of you who own Citizen watches already owned an EcoDrive first. Maybe it was your first watch ever. And I bet you still own it today. These are really the pieces that are so easy to recommend to anyone, where buyer's remorse is often non-existent. Now, let's move on to Quartz. I'm gonna warn you guys all now. This is not the sexiest section in this video. This is kind of why I have chapters in my videos. But these are absolutely still worth talking about, because Citizen's Quartz watches are not bad by any means. These are here to be honest, affordable watches from a reputable brand that you can feel cool wearing, which matters more than some of us like to admit. I think any of these can make for a great first watch to start a respectable collection, or to add to one. The BI 1030 may be the best example of a great first watch, or a great one to gift to a loved one. I don't think anybody would complain about a watch that looks this straightforward, this elegant, and has that logo on it. Then we have the BI 5050 that adds a textured dial and a dive style bezel, but it doesn't rotate. The BI 5051 is very similar, just with different color options, a different bezel design that also doesn't rotate, and a more restrained dial texture. The BF 0580 is one that I could see wearing as a daily for years on end. It's just a nice, simple, and compact Citizen that you can wear pretty much everywhere, besides swimming. All of the Quartz pieces I've showed you so far have 100 meters of water resistance, besides this one, which is limited to only 30 meters or 99 feet. And the AN8170 is the last Quartz piece we're going to look at here, and it's yet another great looking chronograph from Citizen. We're back to 100 meters of WR on this 40mm diameter piece, and it's only 12.5 thick. I like all the colors offered for this one, and that full gold variant really sticks out to me. All of these Quartz Citizen watches range from about $100 to $175 on Amazon, and are often where you can find some of the best deals during big sales. Okay, now let's have some fun, and let's get into the Automatics section, where some of the most iconic Citizen watches can be found. I think it's important to remember that this was not some random little mechanical side quest that Citizen tacked on because the market told them to. Citizen has an interesting and legitimate history here. The roots of Miyota go back to 1959, when Citizen established a movement factory in Miyota, Nagano. And then in 1980, the Miyota brand itself officially launched. But even before that, the 82 series showed up in the 1975 and went on to become one of the true workhorse mechanical families in the watch world. Never forget that when we're looking at all of our AliExpress watches, It's so easy to remember that Seiko movements are from the Seiko watch company, but Miyota, the movement that is found on every other watch on there that isn't powered by a Seagull or Seiko, that's Citizen. So when you buy a Citizen automatic, you're buying into the most proven, accessible mechanical lineages in the entire industry, from the source. Let's start with the Ciosa. The Ciosa is one of, if not the biggest, modern win for Citizen, and it's easy to see why. It landed right in a part of the market that people are obsessed with right now, and it gave them a legit Citizen version of it. You get a 40mm stainless steel case, anti-reflective sapphire crystal, an exhibition case back showing off the 8210 movement, 50 meters of water resistance, and a weight of 138 grams. It looks integrated, wears clean, and has a design that finds that perfect balance of elegant, restrained, and charming. On Amazon, I've seen some of the best Ciosa prices you will find, period, far below its normal price of $475. For example, the yellow and orange are both around $330 for me right now. That is a great price on this now iconic Citizen watch. And then there's the ProMaster C-Dive NY0120, another exceptional entry in the ProMaster line. The NY0120 comes in at 41mm in stainless steel, with a rotating bezel, luminous hands and markers, polyurethane strap, 200 meters of water resistance, and the 8204 automatic movement. This is a real diver spec sheet from a real dive-capable brand. I really love every ProMaster out there, and the value on this one is another reason why it holds such a sweet spot in my heart, as you can often find them in the low 200s on Amazon when discounted, which is easily one of the best deals on this list. The ProMaster Fugu NY0136, which takes everything up by a notch. This one brings more presence with a 44mm stainless steel case and bracelet. You also get sapphire crystal, 200 meters of WR, and the same 8204 automatic movement. This is not a subtle watch, with that size and that wild dial texture, and I love it for everything about it. The pufferfish engraved on the back is a little design touch that I adore as well. This is a special Citizen dive watch, and it's priced like one, around $500 on Amazon right now. And finally, one that my comments has taught me holds a special place in a lot of your guys' hearts. Whenever I mention the stainless steel NH7530 dive watch in a video, there's at least a few of you gushing about it in the comments. And I get it, this is a great looking watch. Size grade 2 at 42mm in diameter and spec'd out proper with stainless steel everywhere, 100 meters of WR, and sapphire crystal covering the dial. This beauty is powered by the 8200 automatic movement and seems to always be on sale. Do not pay the $675 list price for this watch, as finding it for closer to $400 on Amazon is very normal, if not lower than that. I really don't think you can go wrong with any Citizen automatic. They're all gorgeous, priced fair, and they're all powered by movements that deliver a great mix of reliability and performance. Let's move on to the next category though, and one of the silliest sections of the entire Citizen catalog, the collabs. These are not going to be everyone's thing. Honestly, collab watches aren't normally my thing, but Citizen is really good at designing watches around their collaborations instead of just slapping logos or characters on them and calling it a day. These all feel very thoughtfully designed. There are three main collab lines from Citizen that you will find on Amazon: Star Wars, Marvel, and Disney. I'm going to show you mostly Star Wars collabs because I like those most. The Mandalorian Chronograph is 44mm in a dark gray two-tone ion-plated steel case with a brown leather strap, a gray sunburst dial, luminous hands and markers, a tachometer bezel, and themed subdials. It runs the B612 EcoDrive chronograph that gives you 100 meters of water resistance. My target for this one would be anywhere around $350. The Mandalorian Black IP 3-hand AW2045 is the clean and more wearable Mando watch. It's an IP steel watch on a matching bracelet featuring a black dial with the Mudhorn signet and saber texture pattern, 100 meters of water resistance, and the J830 EcoDrive movement. Same price ballpark here as before. The Rebel Starfighter box set CA0870 is a full-on collector package, and the stuff I look for in collabs. This is a 44mm stainless steel chrono powered by the B12 EcoDrive movement with 100 meters of water resistance. The dial works in the Rebellion symbol, X-Wing, and Death Star, and the set also includes a collectible Rebel pin. So yeah, this one is for the hardcore Star Wars and Citizen fans. And because it is a box set, it carries that premium, priced around $495 normally. The Millennium Falcon, I'm trying to say that right, BM7581 is probably one of the cooler looking understated collabs. It has a 40mm silver tone steel case and is powered by the E111 EcoDrive movement. However, you only get splash resistance here, which is definitely the big weak point. But I love that dial with its hyperdrive cockpit style Millennium Falcon graphic. This is just a great looking piece regardless of any tie-in. Look to get this one in the mid 300s as well. The C3PO Rewired has a far louder personality, but still not too much. You get a 42mm gold tone steel case, 100 meters of water resistance, and only 69 grams in weight. Nice. Plus, this is powered by the A725 EcoDrive. The black dial uses multicolor circuit-style accents, and the gold case is meant to obviously echo C3PO's plating. It's dressier and more graphic than the other Mando pieces, but still a great pick if you like gold tone watches. Citizen currently has the price reduced on this one on Amazon from $395 to just $316. The R2D2 AN3666 is a 38mm stainless steel chronograph with 50 meters of WR and the 0510 Quartz chronograph movement. The silver dial and blue-red accents do a really nice job of capturing R2D2 without making it look silly or cheap. This is one I would look for on discount under $300. The Trench Run Anti-Digital JG2109 is just awesome. It uses a 33mm black stainless steel rectangular case and steel bracelet. The specs are very Casio coded in spirit. Dual time, digital displaying, temperature in Celsius, 1/1000 second chronograph up to 12 hours, perpetual calendar. However, only splash resistance again. Style-wise though, this is full vintage gadget energy, and the Star Wars tie-in works perfect. I'd look to get this one for anywhere around $300 as well. My favorite Marvel piece is the Gold Tone Avengers AW1155, a 44mm two-tone black and gold ion-plated steel case with ABS, 100 meters of water resistance, and the J810 EcoDrive. The black pattern dial with the gold accents and Avengers logo all work well enough together without making it look too ridiculous. And then for Disney, we got the Mickey Mouse Ciosa, a legit automatic Ciosa, but with the blue sunray dial, a jumping Mickey at center, and tilted numerals that give it a much more playful, animated look. If you prefer this over a classic Ciosa, the price doesn't change much either. So there's a look at all of Citizen's collabs, just to give you guys an idea of just how well-rounded their entire catalog is. Alright my friends, it's time to put on our suit and ties and get fancy, and take a look at some Bulova Automatics. As I'm sure many of you know, this is not some random side quest in this video. Bulova is one of the most historic American names in watches, founded in 1875. But they have been part of the Citizen family since 2008, and their relationship makes a lot of sense together, as Bulova fills a nice void in the Citizen world. Citizen usually gives you that practical, low-maintenance side of the spectrum. Bulova, however, gives you the dressier, louder, more style-forward side. Same bigger family, very different personalities, and that contrast makes them really fun to cover together. The Aerojet 96B374 is a great place to start. This watch leans into vintage styling and executes it as well as Bulova is known to, which is very well. You have a sunray dial, gold tone accents, a day-night indicator, crosshair detail, and a very retro luxury presentation overall. I adore that Aerojet logo so much. It all works together so seamlessly. If you want to dress your automatic that still has some bold personality, I feel like this one is an easy pick, especially when it's marked down 45% to only $300 like it is right now on Amazon. Then you have the Aerojet Open Aperture 98A187, the cleaner, more heartbeat style Aerojet that's 41mm in diameter with a boxed mineral crystal. You also have 30 meters of water resistance and the 82S0 automatic powering it. The look is much more restrained than the previous one, but it still hits all those Aerojet notes perfectly. Same target price for this beauty too. The Surveyor Open Aperture 98A284 is the more classic two-tone Surveyor. And if you can't tell by now, Bulova knows how to do an open aperture watch as well as anyone else in the world. You're getting a 42mm two-tone stainless steel case here and an absolutely crazy lightweight of only 59 grams. However, you're only getting splash resistance, which is becoming a little bit too common in this video if we're being honest. And you have the 8S50 automatic powering this one. Anywhere under $300 is a steal here. The Surveyor 98B422 looks exactly like how I picture Bulova, if that makes sense. It's stunning, 39mm in diameter, stainless steel bracelet with sapphire crystal coated in AR, and again, splash resistance. Powering this one is the 8215 automatic. I don't know if there is an outfit in the world that would look bad with this watch. One more Surveyor I got for you guys is the Skeleton 96A292. This one leans much more modern and has that big open display. It's 41mm with a domed mineral crystal and a skeletonized 21 joule automatic with a 42-hour power reserve. Same target price as every other Bulova here so far, so really just pick which one is tickling your fancy and keep your eye on it. Let's level up a bit now though with the modern Millennia 98A 291. A 41mm black case that's both ceramic and stainless steel on a matching bracelet with mineral crystal, splash resistance, boo, and the 8N40 automatic. It's a two-hand with running second skeletonized design, delivering a nice mix of modern and traditional. I'm a sucker for black and gold, and I love when the gold comes from the movement. That's just so class to me. I'd target this one anywhere under 400. The Latin Grammy Modern Millennia 98A 236 is a super fun one and a great example of just why I love watches. It's 41mm domed sapphire crystal with blue AR coating, splash resistance again, and the 82 S7 automatic. The dial is textured to resemble gyro with red accents and piano key style bracelet details. I love watches that go all in on a theme but still end up with a design that's this universally and objectively handsome. Next we have the modern three-hand 96A 204, an older Futuro modern skeleton style piece, 42mm with a crazy small 15mm lug width on a steel bracelet, and powering this one is the 8N26 automatic. Side note, I love the wide variety of automatic movements that we're getting here. And on this one, you have an exhibition caseback showing it off too, which I always love. Finding this one under $300 on Amazon is doable on the right day. More skeleton pieces. This time we have the Makina Skeleton 98A 224. This one is pure Bulova excess in every way. It's a massive 46mm in diameter, but only 86 grams heavy, and you're getting a steel bracelet, anti-reflective sapphire crystal, 100 meters of water resistance, and the AN26 automatic. Another black and gold skeleton styling, another exhibition caseback, and a very aggressive industrial aesthetic. You know the drill I'm pressing by now. Now let's talk Marine Star and Mark Anthony. The Mark Anthony Marine Star 98D 184 is the dressier, more premium feeling automatic, but it's a big boy also. 45mm in diameter, 24mm lugs, so have fun finding a different strap if you don't like the one it comes with. A hefty 220 grams, and 200 meters of water resistance, powered by the 82 S5 automatic with hack, sub-seconds, and a 42-hour power reserve. It has a blue dial, diamond accents at 1, 3, and 5, that open heart display, and just so much visual presence. It's big, but I think it justifies its size with that design. I'd target anywhere under 500 for this watch that normally sits at 750. The Mark Anthony Marine Star Series A, 98A 225 and 226 don't really dial it back sizing wise, 44mm in diameter, 24 lug width again, and the same specs as before elsewhere, but the overall design and strap options make it feel like more of a sporty, summer-ready Mark Anthony, if there was ever such a thing. Another wild list price of $650 here, but that's why we love Amazon. It's priced under $400 for me currently at a 40% discount. Hey, it's time for the first roast on the Mount Rushmore Brand Guide series, and Bulova earned this one. The Ladies Marine Star Mother of Pearl 96324 may be the most perfect example in the world of why I hate gendered watches so much. I want to slap Bulova in the face Rick James style for this one. Sapphire crystal, 100 meters of water resistance, exhibition caseback, and an absolutely gorgeous mother of pearl dial with an open heart aperture, which only appeals to the ladies, I guess, because you can only find this stunning texture on this specific 35mm diameter, 9.5 thick piece, which is far too small for me, and I think most people. And don't get me wrong, I'm so stoked that the ladies and Small Wrist Gang are getting what I think is the best looking Marine Star in the world. I'm just jealous, especially since this is the least expensive one in the bunch, only $315 on Amazon right now. The Oceanographer GMT 96B405 is where things get pretty serious. It's 41mm with sapphire crystal, 200 meters of water resistance, that timeless Pepsi-style bezel, and a 24 joule self-winding GMT movement. This is one of the more expensive pieces here, priced around $700 right now. The price of beauty is not cheap, my friends. The Oceanographer Amazon exclusive is a far more accessible option, and feels like it has to be mentioned, being the only Amazon exclusive watch on this entire brand guide series. This brings the very popular Oceanographer line to a 41mm case, which I've seen online is not exactly everybody's cup of tea. I personally like the visual look of it, especially the colors offered on the Amazon exclusive line. You're still getting 100 meters of water resistance, that beautiful wave texture, and a great discount when it comes to Oceanographers, as most of these are priced under $200 for me right now on Amazon. The Sutton 96A 268 takes things in a totally different direction. a rectangular 49 by 33mm watch inspired by Bulova's 1948 President-style cases, with an open-heart dial and exhibition case back as well. I love the twist on this style, and I'd look to get this one for anywhere under $400. And let's wrap all of this up with a bonus watch in our bonus section, because Bulova has a sub-brand that they've owned since 1962 called Caravel, and their vintage Sea Hunter is an absolute beauty. 39mm gold or rose gold steel case, double domed mineral box crystal, 200 meters of water resistance, and a 21 joule automatic. And when it comes to pricing, Caravel can feel like a Bulova cheat code, and this is the perfect example. This one is priced at around $280 on Amazon right now. So while Bulova overall can certainly be on the more premium end of things, especially when it comes to pricing, their watches are just so beautifully and timelessly designed, and was a fun excuse to look at more automatic watches on this video. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for this Citizen and Bulova brand guide, and that means 3 out of 4 of our Amazon Mount Rushmore watch hunting series is completed. So stay tuned for the grand finale, which will be Seiko, and I'm very excited for that one, as that is one of my favorite brands on the planet, and there are some insane deals to be found on Amazon. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of these videos, or the watch that we'll be giving away at 5,000 subscribers. Just a reminder that every watch on this list will be affiliate linked in the description below, and make sure to check frequently to find that best price. I appreciate you all so much, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Shameless Watch Collector, signing out. And always remember, it's not that serious.